Hey guys, got another Yamaha here for you. This one is a 74 DT360. Picked this up at this past year's Vintage Days out at Mid-Ohio. Doesn't run. It's missing a couple pieces. I've already picked up a couple carb parts that it needs, so shouldn't be too much to get it started. I do have to address the throttle assembly here. Looks like it's missing a couple screws. And probably some other parts too. I have to hook that up and see what I need to get for it. I think it's just the screws. The carb I have off, as I said, there wasn't a slide assembly with it, but I did end up finding a slide off of, I have to look up the website again. I can't remember what it is, but they had a slide I was able to order for this, and a couple other little pieces like the retaining clip and the spring. So I got all that. I just have to go through the carb and clean it up. Here's that carburetor I took off. I needed to find this whole assembly right here pretty much. The spring, the slide, the needle, and there's the retaining clip on the inside. So I found all that stuff from different vendors, stuff on eBay, and got it all together. I'm gonna clean the carb out at some point, and then I'll throw that on. Really, I don't think it's going to need much to get this thing to fire up. It's missing a taillight lens, which I picked up also already at the Vintage Days, so I have that piece I got to put on. What else? The seat pan here is in excellent shape. I usually don't see them this solid. It's actually got gloss to it still, so the seat and the foam means the only blemish really, this and a couple little cracks. Nothing major, but the seat's still firm and in good shape all around. I think that's probably the original seat cover. Even the tank, look under here, it's rock solid. No rust. The inside has a little bit like surface rust, but I'm just gonna do the vinegar trick on that, and that should take care of that problem. But the fact that this doesn't have any dents at all in it that I could see, and there's no rust holes, nothing, makes it a good candidate to paint back to the stock green color, like that forest green. Not sure why they did this yellow, but I'm not a big fan of it. Doesn't look too bad though. I mean, they did a decent job. I'm just not a fan of that color scheme on this. I'd rather the stock color. So the oil pump was, the cable was removed, and they did disconnect the oil pump. So probably running premix in there. I would hope they were before I got it. The kickstand mount was missing, so I'm gonna take this one down completely to the frame and get the frame to my buddy, who's a master welder, and he's gonna make up the mounting bracket, and I'll just have to find a kickstand for this and mount it up. After he gets it done, repaint the frame. It's gonna look really good because I mean everything else is in good shape. The chrome's in really good shape. Shocks. Muffler the exhaust doesn't have any holes in it. So the motor will polish up real nice too. Front rim's just as good a shape as the rear. Let's see if I can get a shot of the gauges while it's up here. Gauges are in really nice shape too. It's got the key, and this is gonna clean up really nice. So I'm gonna start on this before winter hits. So I get this down to the bare frame and get this out to my bud, so he could take his time and do his thing. So while that's apart, I think I will probably work on another bike but just wanted to get this started and get it out of the way. So if you like seeing these kind of projects, hit that subscribe button for me, and leave me a like. It goes a long way in helping the channel. So appreciate it, guys. All right, let's get into this. right, first things first, I'm going to get the tank off because that's going to need flushed out, cleaned up a little bit. And while that's off, I'm going to check for spark. All right, gonna get a look at the fuel that's in this tank. I'm just gonna dump it all out and get the inside cleaned out with some vinegar. Go through that whole process. Let's see what we got here. Yummy. Smells real good. Get a good shot of the inside of that tank. It's not horrible. It's not great either. But I've seen worse. Let's see if I can get a light down in there. You can see right where the original color was, this alpine green color. They painted right over it with this yellow. What a shame. You can see it right here too. There's the original color on the tank. Oh, let me get that focused in there for you. Look at how solid this tank is. That's crazy. The inside, I'm going to show you here in a second. Just got a little bit of rust on the bottom. It's more sludge because I was able to scrape some of it off, but this thing has no dents in it. Extremely solid. Kind of hard to get it on camera, but I think a couple days of soaking with some distilled vinegar will clean that up. I'll put some chains or nuts and bolts in there, shake it around. That'll get all that loose stuff gone. But very solid fuel tank. Gonna get a look at this fuel petcock here. Get this apart and try to pull it off so I can put that plate on here to keep the vinegar inside and not destroy the metal on here, because that vinegar will do that. Ask me how I know. That one came out. Okay. It's completely filled up with junk. I think I have another lever that I can use from the petcock off the 72 250 that I got. I ended up having to buy a new petcock for that bike, and I think this is the same petcock that was on that bike, so might be able to just move the switch over. Well, doesn't look like I can reuse the switch off the 72 for the 74 because it is missing this O-ring that goes on the outer edge of it. It looks like the passages match up for the most part. Yeah, they match up. But when I fit this part into the 74 petcock housing, there's way too much wiggle room in there and fuel would just leak by it. So I think I might have to buy another remanufactured, or a reproduction one, I should say. I'm going to take an old seal that I have from a worn out petcock and put it on a aluminum plate, flat side down, and just put it right over top of the passage so it seals it up. That way I can leave that vinegar in there for a few days, shake it around every once in a while, have a clean tank afterwards. Got that filled to the brim. I'm going to use my old wood screws here that I throw in tanks. I couldn't find my chain, so I'm just going to throw these back in, shake it around, let it sit for a couple days, just continuously just kind of come back and move it around a little bit and try to break up any heavy rust. I'm going to leave this sit over top of this bucket here overnight just in case my seal here gives way. It won't be all over the floor. So we'll revisit this. So I'm going to start on the carb next. I'm going to get a look at the inside of this carb now. Like I said, I had to buy a couple parts. I never actually tore it apart yet, but I do needed a slide, spring, and a couple other clips and fasteners in there. So I'm going to get the bowl off and see what kind of shape the inside of this is in. Any indication, the outside is super clean. While I'm in here, I'll check the jet sizes just to make sure they're at the stock spec still. There we go. That was stuck. See if I can salvage this gasket. Yeah, it doesn't look like I messed the gasket up at all. That's good. All right, so this isn't horrible. But that varnish was like cement on there. My guess is it was right on this piece. Stuck way down at the bottom here. That's where it was wedged. So get this cleaned up. Don't hear anything in there. Don't hear anything on that one. Here we go. Float valve. Still got the springiness to it. No rubber tip on this one. I'm worried about that pilot jet that's in there. Look how mangled that is. I don't know if that's coming out of there. Looks like 180 on the number there. $180. And I got no idea what that pilot is because it is screwed up in there. Come on, little spring. I stripped back a wire here to try to get a thin piece of metal to run down through the pilot jet, just because I don't think I'm able to get that out of there, and I might get lucky, and if it's not reamed out too far, it might actually run with that in there. So I'm just going to try to clean the passage out as much as I can with some wire, if it'll even, this might be too thin. Cool. All right. So I can see that piece of wire coming through. So that passage is open. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll probably soak this, and well, I'll soak it with the carb cleaner I got now. Clean up the rest of these parts, and put it back together and see if I can get it to run. See how it idles with that screwed up, stuck pilot jet that's in there. There's no way I'm getting a screwdriver on that, so I'm not going to even bother because I don't want to open that up anymore. So we'll see if it runs with it like this. If it doesn't, I'll pull it back off and figure something out for that. All right, so this carb's ready to go back together. I got everything cleaned up. The main jet was completely clogged, full of junk. You can see through it now, which is what you want. The bowl had some crusts on the bottom of it. I got all that out as much as I could, and I just decided to leave that pilot jet in there just because it's all mangled up from someone trying to pull it out from before. So you can see through that now too. If you can see in that picture, you can actually see through it. So I'm going to leave that go. Hopefully I get lucky and don't have to pull that out. So it is open there, so we're going to give it a try. Okay, it's ready to go back on the bike. It's pretty relieving to see this isn't a rat's nest here. This actually looks pretty well organized and non-tampered with, which is a good thing. So I'm going to get the plug off and give it a couple kicks and see if we got spark. Ooh, look at that. Good spark. Good, strong spark. All right, cool. That'll make things a lot easier on me. I'm going to check the cylinder compression here with this test. Got this hooked up. Just gonna see what I'm working with here. Seems like it's got pretty decent compression, but I got the carb off, and that'll simulate the wide open throttle. So here we go. See if I can keep this camera steady while I'm kicking. Okay. Looks like it's topping off. Probably around 90. Right around 90. Not great, but I had 75 on my DT2, and that thing runs fine. So I don't know if once it's running a little bit and that cylinder gets lubed up, the rings could be stuck a little bit too. You never know. So I think that'll be enough to get it started, because it was enough on the 250. So we'll check it again after it runs a while and see if those maybe those rings just loosen up a little bit and get a little bit better reading. Before I put the carb on, I'm going to check the air box just to make sure it's not full of junk or a mouse nest or anything like that. So I'm going to take this side cover off and access it from this end here. See what we got inside here. Always a surprise. Yep, we got a crusty, somewhat crusty airbox, nothing too major. I don't think anything was living in there. I think that just kind of disintegrated over time. And the air filter kind of just broke apart, so Zoomed out. At least have the cage though. Usually that part's missing. Okay, free play is adjusted. Just gotta tighten down the boots here. And I got the throttle ready to go. Throttle's working. Just need to do air filter and put some fuel in there. I think we're ready to try to start it. Before the first start, I'm just going to double check, make sure there's oil in the crankcase. Oh yeah. It's pretty clean oil too. Well above the dipstick markings there. That's okay. I'm only going to fire it up for a few minutes here. I got my premix here. I'm going to throw a little bit in. See if we got any leaks anywhere. Make sure the floats aren't stuck. Here we go. So I took the plug out because I was suspecting I wasn't getting fuel, and it's bone dry. So I got something going on with the carburetor. I might try a little bit of starting fluid just to get it to pop. Maybe it just needs a little bit to pull the fuel in. So we'll see. I'm gonna give that a try. That's a start. No pun intended. Well, I got it to fire with a little bit of starting ether, and I poured some fuel down in the cylinder head itself, and it popped over and ran even a little bit longer. I'm going to take it back off and just double check the float valve and stuff, make sure it's all working, because this doesn't seem to be letting any fuel in. And when I open this up, I get a little bit of fuel, but I would think it would be rushing out of there. So taking the car back off. Just wondering if something got stuck when I was putting it back together, if one of the floats in there were kind of in the up position, or maybe I was pushing on something that was keeping the float valve stuck up. I guess I'll find out. Unless they gotta do it like this, but up. Oh my. Yeah, that was stupid. I'm sure somebody's commenting as they saw me put this thing back together. I should have looked at the up on there. That's why. These have to go like this. Duh. Oh, I feel stupid. This isn't my first rodeo either. I just blanked out putting that together, I guess. Well, that would probably do it right there. So it was, what was happening exactly was, since those rods were at the top, a little bit of fuel in there was pushing it up enough to just close the valve. Wasn't letting any more fuel in, so man, I feel stupid. But kind of relieved at the same time that it wasn't anything else. All right, ready to go back on. Floats in the right position this time. All right, let's see how much he drinks now. There we go. It's actually taking in fuel. Sounded pretty good, I gotta say. It's idling nice. The pump is actually working. Leftover oil in the oil pump. Doing a little bit of a leak on the carburetor. I got her back up on the bike stand here. Now that I know it runs, I'm going to start taking everything apart, get that frame out to my buddy. And while it's apart, I'm going to look for some things, one being the cable that operates the oil pump. Because I know the pump works because whatever was left over in the line was getting pumped out all over the motor. It was running yesterday, so kind of made a mess, but at least I know it works. So I just got to find the cable, and I'll be able to hook this back up into here, and won't have to worry about running premix. So this is going to get painted back to the stock green color, like the forest green metal flake color, along with the fuel tank, which I got still soaking with vinegar, and the side covers. These are actually just black plastic. I don't think there's supposed to be any paint on them. So I'm going to see if I can just kind of chip that paint off. It might be kind of tough, but instead of having to paint over that or just try to strip it, I might just try to scrape it off. So I'll use something like this, some kind of plastic scraper. We'll see. I got to get the air filter. I got the lens I still got to put on there. Not a big deal. I got to get a battery for it. The lights didn't work at all whenever I was running it there, but I didn't even bother looking in the bucket yet. It could just be unhooked. It's pretty complete, ready to go. I mean, it's just going to be cosmetics now because it runs and idles good. I just got to... Oh, yeah, and I'm going to have to get a new tube for this because this is kind of stuck down in there. And this tire is so dry rotten. I'm able to like wheel it around and stuff with it without any air in there. It's so stiff. So I can tell this is an older tire. I'll have to see if there's any date codes on it, but the next time you see this in a complete form like this, it's going to have the right colors and everything on it. But I will document the teardown process for anybody that's interested in seeing that. Those will be in some upcoming videos here. Probably spread out a little bit because I'll be doing other things while this is apart. But we'll see. We'll see how I work that together. Thanks again for watching. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button for me and leave me a like, leave me a comment. Something that I'm missing, something you'd like to see. So any suggestions helps me a long way. Thanks, guys. Until next time.